to continue talking about smart contracts. And this really is a major linchpin for what I view as the future. Some of the details you've already talked about, no need to pay any middleman, middle woman? Oh, well, but middle person. Okay, they save time. There's no conflict between parties because everything is public and transparent. Every process on a regular contract involves documentation and time. A couple days is actually pretty fast for a signature on a regular contract, but sometimes you have to run around. I've experienced situations where I've tried to get somebody to sign a contract, and it's a matter of it takes 10 days to get it all signed between the time you sit down and have it all drawn up, have one or two corrections to it, sit down and have this happen, and so on. A week is pretty common out there. If you can eliminate all the weeks of waiting with a smart contract, life would be so much easier. Regular contracts consume time, lots of time, not just days. Smart contracts reviews all the various intermediaries, it eliminates a whole series of unnecessary steps, and it really is just software code on the internet that speeds up transactions, saves hours, days, accelerates the process, especially on those international transactions. It's got the automated coding features that are reliable and encrypted data technology. They really have the highest safety level standards, and the level of protection it'll involve allows them to be very secure. Smart contracts, they save money, it eliminates all the paper-based documentation, and in the same way, the money in that's also saved. So we're talking about that whole issue of precision, and smart contracts get things done automatically when certain conditions are done. Here's the condition. When that condition is defined, both parties click, and boom, it happens over there. Everything's done without any human intervention. They eliminate errors completely. Okay, the more in traditional contract, there's no way of even tracking it until the error is made. With smart contracts, you don't have that. Therefore, the accuracy is much more apparent in the final work. It establishes a level of confidence because a lot of times you talk about blockchain, you're talking about this thing called a trustless system. I don't know about you, but the aspect of trustless, I always kind of thought I want to trust the system. But with blockchain and with smart contracts, there's no need to trust them. It's a trustless system because of the fact that the code will execute it no matter what, whether I trust it or I don't trust it. It doesn't matter because of the fact that the reality is that computer program is going to deal with it by the time it's all done. It's trustworthy because it is trustless. It eliminates the manipulation and manual errors. Sometimes I've seen reports coming in and you question the overall judgment. Is this what really happened over here? Is this really the dialogue? It's agreement based upon all these conditions, and you automatically dive into the contract to make certain the contract is saying the things that you thought it's supposed to say. I've had contracts where I've written the contract and I've had to go back and rewrite parts of it or update different features of it because of the fact that here this condition changed or somebody did this over here, which is inappropriate. And I might not have thought anybody would be that naive or maybe that knowledgeable to do what they did. Have to go back and add a new paragraph, add this, add that, until finally, after multiple times of executing similar contracts, you get used to that whole aspect of it. This one executes itself. It doesn't even need me, doesn't need my signature. It only needs to execute itself based upon the parameters that are out there. It's a win-win scenario for everybody. You don't need the trusted third party with a smart contract. You don't need an escrow agent to hold money. Well, I'm the escrow agent and deposit your money with me and I'll make sure it happens. No, you don't need that with a smart contract. You can have a home mortgage eliminate the entire escrow division of banks. You better believe that makes a lot of bankers scared, especially if you work in the escrow department. You don't need attorneys to interpret the language as part of the smart contract. That makes attorneys worried. Liens, binding, delineation of property rights. All of a sudden, judges won't have anything to do. Or maybe they could do real stuff that really is changing society instead of listening to two attorneys barking at each other, trying to win their side of the case. Now, I'm happy to make fun of lawyers, but here's a reality. The United States has one of the best legal systems out there, and we have flaws. So take a good look at that and see how the rest of the world is faring on that. But that being said, all of a sudden, instead of having lawyers in court arguing about the conditions of a contract, all of a sudden now we can focus in on other issues that are probably more daunting in the process. You construct contracts not in human language, but in computer code. Of course, you're going to have some good computer coders in the process. These contracts are fully autonomous. If a condition happens, the computer code defines what's next, and no court can stop it. When you're running a blockchain, smart contracts become like a self-operating computer program. Boom, 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 increases the quality, increases the speed, increases the labor. It's a powerful new way of doing business. So by the time it's all done, they're pre-programmed. Some of the cool things about it right into blockchains, it's sometimes overlooked. A lot of industries can be transformed with smart contracts. The banking industry, all of a sudden you stop having people reviewing documents and sitting on people's desks. Boom, boom, this happens. And a lot of times you don't even need the bank to be involved whatsoever, because the code's there and it transfers from your account to somebody else's account without any intermediary. The supply chain, one of the biggest banes we've had in the last 5 years has been the supply chain and the difficulties we've had with it. With smart contracts, a lot of the different issues and the dialogue that took place can be eliminated. Healthcare, eliminate the aspect of all the different people involved with the pharmaceutical managers who mysteriously make huge amounts of money over selling drugs at different prices to different entities. All of a sudden, those things disappear. And that money is returned back into the economy to work to make human life even better than it is today. And other industries out there, it will transform massive industries. But remember my warning, third parties will be pushing back. So the reality, though, is there's no need for a trusted third party with a smart contract. There's no escrow agents to hold money, no attorneys to interpret language, liens, binding, delineation of property right. These things all go away, and no third party is necessary, which is one of the fabulous parts about blockchain and especially smart contracts. Take care.